Welcome back in today's episode in the aesthetic renaissance. Now, today we're going to be looking at narcissism and how it develops from a young age. The slow erosion, tracing the gradual decay of empathy in developmental narcissism. What happens when a child's heart begins to harden, not out of malice, but as a biological survival mechanism? Is it possible that the person who hurt you actually possessed never possessed the capacity to care? The development of narcissism is really a light switch moment. Instead, it is a gradual process where personality traits solidify over time, typically becoming a diagnosable disorder in early adulthood. Psych- Psychologists generally look at three main factors that determine when and why a person crosses the line from confident to narcissistic. Number one, the developmental window. Personality is most plastic during childhood and adolescence. While children are naturally egocentric, which is age appropriate, the traits that define narcissistic personality disorder, or NPD, usually begin to crystallize between the ages of 18 and 25. Before 18, clinicians are very hesitant to diagnose narcissism in minors because the prefrontal cortex is still developing, and the narcissistic behavior is often a phase of identity formation. After 25, by this point, personality traits are generally stable. If the patterns of grandiosity and lack of empathy persist into the mild 20s, they are likely permanent features of the individual's personality. Number two, the nature versus nurture catalyst. There is no single narcissistic gene, but rather a combination of factors that push a person towards the disorder. Genetic predisposition. Some people are born with a more sensitive temperament or a higher drive for dominance. The overvalued child. If a child is constantly told they are superior, entitled to special treatments, and better than others, they may never develop a true self, only a false, grandiose self. And the attachment trauma child. Conversely, narcissism can be a defense mechanism. If a child's ex- if a child experiences severe neglect or conditional love, they may develop a harder outer shell of grandiosity to protect a fragile, hollow interior. Thirdly, the clinical breaking point. From a diagnostic perspective, a person becomes a narcissist when their traits move from being personality quirks to functional impairments. This is defined by a few key shifts. Inflexibility. They cannot turn it off. They are narcissistic even when it's clearly hurting their career or family. Lack of empathy. The inability to recognize or identify with the feelings of others becomes a consistent pattern. Entitlement. A shift from wanting things to believing they have a fundamental right to things others don't have, regardless of effort. And lastly, interpersonal exploitation. They begin to view people as objects or functions rather than human beings. Ultimately, a person usually a person doesn't usually wake up one day as a narcissist. It is a slow motion molding of the psyche, a defense against internal shame that eventually becomes an impenetrable fortress. As the last grains of empathy wash away, we are left with a chilling portrait of survival at the cost of connection. a hollow monument to a self that no longer knows how to see anyone else. If you liked today's video, please do like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, goodbye.